How's it, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome back to another video update. I just wanted to do a quick update on the current market and what exactly is happening with crypto right now. So let's get straight into it. You can see that we did obviously close the day in red, and obviously I want to speak about, did we actually close and break support levels? Are we changing structure to the downside? So I want to speak about all these key things. And as you can see, guys, most coins are down almost 5 to 10% from yesterday. Okay, there was some allegations with Wintermute trying to sue Binance over the October 10 crash, but apparently they're not going to. I'm not too sure what the most updated figure is. Yeah, so I don't think it's actually going to happen. I think it was just speculation, and obviously this, with the current market structure of crypto right now, I think it just added to the selling pressure, and a lot of people were selling, right? And I think there was over 405,000 Bitcoin that long-term holders actually sold off, which obviously created selling pressure as well. A lot of people looking like they are selling right now, which is kind of crazy. So if we look at the fear and greed index as well, we'll probably see that 21, right? We haven't seen 21 since. This is 24. I mean, October 10th wasn't even this bad, right? So let's have a look at, 21 was like April 9th, and then but guys, can you just see, when we stay within these regions, we don't stay within the low 20s for long, right? Fear and greed index is a metric that you can use for a buy signal, right? So when we do stay below here, we do kind of recover quite easily, right? If we do a max, let's have a look. Anything below 20 here, right? This line over here is 20. We don't stay here for that long of a time period, right? So I honestly think that this right now is just trying to scare a lot of people. Obviously it's quite a big dump, and most coins did break support from yesterday. In yesterday's video, we were waiting to see what was going to happen, because it was super tricky to take longs yesterday when nothing was really breaking structure or breaking trend. So didn't get involved with anything yesterday, just due to that fact, and also taking shorts at support. Most coins were at support. It was really tricky. So you can just see, staying in this low region, it doesn't happen for that long. You can see over here, this was July, June, so this was a bit of May, June, July, and then we had that move to the upside. Over here was March to the 15th of April, we had that move to the upside. So below 20, around about 10, 15 to 30 days that it can really last for here. But we'll see what happens. Not looking too good though, the crypto market. Seeing extreme fear like this is crazy. So I do think that it's an opportunity, but we'll get straight into it. Okay. So let's have a look at Ethereum quickly, because I was speaking about ETH yesterday, if you guys remember. So basically with ETH, I was waiting to see what was going to happen at this key level here, 3,743. And we got a massive daily close below this level, right? We took out all of these lows. This current 4-hour candle, this is literally this current 4-hour candle now, from this morning, opened up, and you can see how this level here, guys, this daily level at 3,540. Ethereum does need a bounce from the zone, and the reason why I do think that we can potentially bounce from the zone is we do have this bullish gap over here. We have to respect this on the daily level. Okay, so what I want to see now is, okay, because we have this level and we have a potential bounce zone for Ethereum potentially, right? What I want to do is I want to look at the 4-hour and the lower time frames, and if we start closing bullish structure and start changing structure on these lower time frames above this level on the 3,540 level, I'd be interested in taking longs, because that would mean that this daily candle would actually respect this level when closing tomorrow, right? So we're gonna have to watch the zone very closely to see what actually happens. But I want to see structure start to change on lower time frames, right? On the 5 minute, the 15. Obviously, I want to see price hold this level for longs, but super tricky right now to take longs when most of the market has broken lots of key levels, right? So we have to look and see how we're going to actually approach this market with what we have, right? And we know that this potentially could be a bounce zone, whereas we we don't really think that we're going to come all the way back down to 3,110, okay? But obviously, if we do break this level, there's a high probability that we do come lower, right? But we, right now, this is what we got. So this is what we have to work with. And if we do hold this level here, guys, we could potentially see a short-term move to upside, okay? So very, very tricky to get some setups here. A lot of fake outs and moves. But I mean, we are obviously holding this level. You want to start to see something like this, right? So you can just see like how structure right now is. We did make lower lows, lower highs. This is on the 1 minute, right? And then breaking these levels over here. You want to see that throughout the day, right? You want to see price break this high. You want to see price start creating some type of higher low structure, right? And then you can start looking to tackle these long positions, okay? But until then, you can see it's kind of pumping right now. You can see that this level is a strong level, guys. This 3,540 zone, okay? It is quite a strong level, so we just have to watch this level closely for the day. And I want to see if structure does actually change within the zone, because then we can potentially take a bounce trade from this zone, okay? So that's Ethereum right now. Kind of crazy with this whole move. You can see everything's kind of bouncing from these levels. Yeah, we are kind of bouncing. This is crazy. Alright. Let's have a look at Bitcoin quickly. Yo, Bitcoin actually dumped super hard, yeah. I'm just going to remove everything here for Bitcoin, and let's have a fresh chart and see what's happening here. So, with Bitcoin right now, you can see, okay, so the whole thing now is... just want to put this level over here, this wick over here, and then this potential wick right over here. And then right over here. Okay, so this is kind of like what we've been working with Bitcoin for the last couple of days. It's been super tricky. I mean, taking trades within this range, obviously shorting the 116 highs was probably the best bet you could have done within the last week. But honestly, can we bounce from these zones over here? It's definitely possible. Personally, I would probably wait for Bitcoin to start breaking trend. Something like this over here. And then also we do have this bearish fair value gap sitting right over here for Bitcoin, okay? So what I would want to see is I would want to see price just take out this level for Bitcoin, because the problem is right now, trading below this level, we did break structure over here, making lower lows, lower highs. Obviously this is a range, but like lower time frames, this is bearish in terms of lower time frames, but obviously just ranging from 116 to 102. For long continuations, I do want to see price get above this level here, this 109 300 zone, okay? If we can get above that zone, then this would be the catalyst to actually just take the long back up to the 116 level, okay? But we don't really have that yet, right? We don't have any of that yet. We're still making lows right now. So for me right now, I'm just kind of just waiting to see what we can do today, right? I mean, I can't really do anything with Bitcoin here because we haven't taken out this low yet, right? And it's looking like it wants to, right? So taking a long right now, with stops below the low, I'd rather wait for price to actually take out the low and then take the long. And then look for price to go higher, right? Because if you take the long right now, there's still a high chance that it still takes out the low, right? And then if your stop loss is below the low, you're at a risk of getting stopped, right? So you just wait for price to take out the low and then look for potential moves to upside. So that's what I'll probably wait for. But for confirmation's sake, like closing above 109 333, round about this zone here, I think it's super crucial for Bitcoin, okay? It's just right now the market is absolutely crazy with this move to the downside, yeah. We've lost all the key levels, yeah. There's a chance as well, yeah. Looking at the weekly time frame, that we can even come a little bit lower, right? We do have this level over here that's been tested once already, actually twice. And yeah, this could be the reset for Bitcoin. We could even come as low as like 98 potentially today, which is why I'm not going to take a long unless I get confirmation that we're breaking above that level, that trend line. Because the problem is we do have like some targets to the downside, right? So taking longs right now for me just wouldn't make sense unless we we see some type of structure change on the lower time frames. Okay. But yeah, we do have all these key levels of liquidity sitting a little bit below us over here. So I'd want to see price take these out first, before we get the move up, right? So we'll see what happens. Yeah, a little bit tricky right now. Even to take shorts is also tricky because we don't really know. Shorting this level over here would have been better. But shorting now, we still can get a bounce from the zone, right? So it's a little bit, you can't really do much right now for Bitcoin. Okay. Yeah, super tricky right now, guys. I'll be honest with you, super tricky with the market. Let's have a look at total 3. Yeah, so same thing with total 3, right? We spoke about it yesterday. Same thing, right? We closed below this level, okay? But the thing is, we're still holding, right? So we close it below this key level here. A little bit of a head and shoulders pattern for total 3 here. You can see we did speak about this as well. Obviously, head and shoulders, it doesn't always play out, but this obviously is in play right now, and you can see we are at support right now. Okay, so we do have this level to the left, which is a very, very critical zone, very, very, very critical zone sitting right over here. Okay, super critical for total 3. Okay, we have to hold the zone for alts, otherwise we cooked in terms of alts, because the thing is with altcoins, if we start closing below these levels here, it gives us a lot of range to the downside, right? We have so much range over here that we can potentially fill for the altcoins. Okay, so we do need to see a bounce from this zone over here. Okay, we did lose like internal structure over here from yesterday, but in terms of like holding lows and highs, we do need to hold this level. Super strong zone for total 3. Okay, so guys, we'll see what happens today. I will be sharing updates and everything with certain tokens today to see if we can potentially get some moves. Just be careful with there's a lot of volatility happening right now, and there's a lot of news in crypto that's floating around, with long-term holders selling, and then obviously this winter mute speculation thing that's happening. It's obviously putting a lot of selling pressure on the market. A lot of people are getting scared. But yeah, in terms of trading, in terms of leverage trading, I think it's just important to just wait to see what happens today in terms of these levels, right? Because the whole thing with just looking at Bitcoin right now, like I spoke about earlier, there is, you can have a look over here. This is my other chart, right? Yeah, it's still the same level, that 0.5 fib level as well. So it was also that bearish divergence, right? This weekly bearish divergence is actually playing out. I mean, I don't really look at RSI, but there was a really, really strong weekly bearish divergence with price over here. Have a look, see over here. I mean, that could have been your signal to look for those opportunities to go lower, right? But you can just see with this fib brought from the low to the high over here that we do have this level at 100,000, like 300. Within this zone over here. Okay, so super strong zone. That's why I'm currently just waiting to see if we can actually get there. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you do slap up the like button. And yeah, I will be looking at potential setups today, just waiting to see what we get over here with this move down, right? Super hard to trade a falling knife, right? So just be super careful out there. Rather wait for confirmation within this type of structure and this type of market. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the live stream.